Hello and welcome back, everyone. It's just another day in the life as a military wife, and there are some exciting and fun things that I'm going to talk to y'all about today, specifically things that are involving my life but also impact the podcast. So I am going to be going on a convention trip. It's my first one, and that's going to be coming up soon. Also, some really great resources that I have got my hands on and I cannot wait to tell you about. And finally, where I am at on that 100 book challenge, because, oh yeah, it's a challenge. So we're just going to have some fun today and just go over things that I am excited about and want to share with all of you. As always, I am your host, Sam Wolf, and you're listening to Life of a Military Wife. Okay, so first things first, the convention. I have always wanted to go to this big family history convention they have. It's called Roots Tech. There's other conventions I've always wanted to go to. In fact, I just think conventions sound fun, mostly because I'm an extrovert. I mean, that's really it. And so a couple weeks ago, things have been crazy and stressful and all of that. My husband came home and he said, "Hey, I got a Valentine's present for you, but it is going to be a little late. And just so you know, you're going to Roots Tech." And I was shocked. I'm like, wait, how am I getting there? I don't really want to go by myself. I really would like my first convention to be with a friend. He's like, no problem. So he called up a friend of mine who is nearby. Her and her husband moved to that area after he got out of the military. So she's a former military spouse. She's Italian too. We've been helping each other with family history, and called up her husband and said, "Hey, you need to get your wife tickets to this convention. And can my wife crash with y'all while she's in town? And they can just go together and have a little girls' weekend trip thing." So, yeah, I'm super excited about that. And the reason why it applies to the podcast is as we were going through and signing up for the different classes and stuff they would have, there were ones that were specifically military related. And I'm really excited to get some assistance with doing military family history. As those of you who've been longtime listeners of the podcast are aware of, I have been a family history consultant for 15, 14 years now, maybe a little longer than that. And but I'm still an intermediate at best family historian, consultant, genealogist, whatever term you want to use. I'm, middling at best. I mean, there's just so much to know. You can't know everything. And the one part I'm working on a lot right now is my Italian family history. I've got a lot figured out with my Irish family history. I've hit some dead ends on some of the Irish and Scottish, but I've still got a lot figured out. And I really want to delve into this Italian because I've got a friend who's helping me out. And her Italian's a little bit better than mine. That's the other sad part is we've lost the language, both of us. Anyway, long story short, some of these classes are specifically targeted towards Italian family history, and other classes are specifically targeted towards doing military family history that I've signed up for. And then some are how to turn what you learn and write books about your family history. And I have wanted to do this for a long time because when my husband joined the military, I just felt so lost and kind of just anchorless. And so I started doing family history, and I realized that both my husband and my family have this really rich and deep, just profound family history with the military, with so many. Like, I've got ancestors all the way back to the Revolutionary War, and so does my husband. And every major world war, everything, like it's part of our blood. It's something that our family has done. And then one of the best things that I found, well, my mom found and then showed me, was the journal of one of my great grandmothers. her husband served in the Mexican-American War, and he had to leave when she was pregnant with one of their children, and at that point, they didn't pay you until you got back. So she was left with little kids and no income and pregnant, and she just made it happen. She was totally kick butt and awesome, and she decided that she was gonna weave cloth and sell it to the Native Americans to help feed her children, and had just built up this really great, relationship with the, tribe that of Native Americans that was in her area, and a really wonderful relationship with that community. And so that was just a powerful story of resilience that has meant a lot to me. And as I have learned these stories of my family members, I have really wanted to put together a book of all of their incredible stories and just make copies for my family, if nothing else. Maybe other people would be interested in hearing them. I'm so proud of my mother-in-law. I'm so proud of my mother-in-law's mom. Anyway, my mother-in-law's mom, so my husband's grandmother, maternal grandmother, was a nurse in World War II and actually caught a spy. And just like these really awesome stories. And I don't want them to get lost. I want them to be remembered and shared and passed down. I want my children to know these things and their children to know these things, but not just my kids. I'd love for the rest of the family to be aware of these too. So I'm really excited about being able to do more military research, get more information about their military service, what they actually did in the military, and all of those sorts of things, specifically since it can get really complicated and sometimes there's just not a lot of detail. Then the other thing that I'm really excited about is learning how to turn all of that into family histories into a story format. So I can't wait to go and learn all of these things and come back and share these tips and information with you guys. I do plan on taking really great notes, at least as good of ones as I possibly can. I'm going to see if I can even record some of the classes so that I can better get the information out to all of you. And that has just got me so excited and I'm massively enthused. Plus, I get to hang out with a friend for several days, and that is fabulous as well. So I'm super grateful for my husband for being really thoughtful and just doing this for me. I've always said I was going to do it, but I always just don't because I feel guilty running off and taking a vacation on my own. So it made me feel not guilty because it was his idea and he wants this for me. So I'm really thankful for him for that. I'm also thankful for a friend I can crash with because that makes it a lot more affordable. Anyway, so that is really where I'm at with that. If there is some specific things that you guys would like to know on how to do family histories on military family members, research your military family history and all of that, please shoot them to me in the comments. Send them to me. Send them like sending me a message on X, on Facebook, email, YouTube comment, like there's ways. Just let me know. That way I've got these experts that I'll be able to talk to. I might be able to ask them some of your questions as well. That's something I'm really looking forward to. The other thing is not long after I did that whole survey of all the parents regarding media, I stumbled across a really fabulous resource for parents about media and it is called Criticless. Criticless, and it's one word. It's critic and then less, Less, all one word, and it is fabulous. I have gotten so excited about it. I found it thanks to a wonderful pro channel, WDW Pro, and his channel. They had the creator on their panel and he was talking about it. And I was like, you know what? I need to check this out. This looks legit. It might be exactly what parents were saying they were looking for when I was doing these surveys. And sure enough, it is a great site. It is still in the infant stage. They're still gathering reviews, but Absolutely 100% of these reviews are from individuals themselves, and it's all of their opinions and stuff like that and their perspectives. Absolutely none of them are professional critics. They are all just YouTubers and just random normal people. And what I did was there's this really awesome function where you can create groups and you can have conversation in those groups about different topics. So the group I created on Criticless is called Parent Preview. And what it allows you to do is parents and guardians can get on and ask questions about different TV shows and different movies that they would like more information on and get feedback from other parents and guardians about their perspective on that media, as well as just get ideas on good shows and movies to share. And this has been a really, really fun experience getting to know all of these other parents and guardians and sharing what we love and want to share with the next generation and reminding each other of really great media that is already out there and already exists. And they literally have pretty much everything you could ever think of that you can write a review on. Now, everything doesn't all have reviews. There are things that don't have reviews yet. And I have been trying to intentionally do reviews on things that have been reviewed less or have not been reviewed at all. And I've really been trying to do a balance of military reviews, like on military media, media about the military, and like family friendly media. But I've also just done some fun ones that I like. And I was doing about 2 reviews a day for a couple of weeks, and then life hit with trying to get out the door for the convention that's coming up and all of that stuff. So I have not put up any reviews recently in the last few days, and I probably will take a break because of the convention, but I will be back at it. And so you can go ahead and follow me. I'm on there as Life of a Military Wife or Sam Wolf, and you can see the reviews that I'm posting if you follow me. And yeah, join Parent Preview and you can ask questions of me and other parents who are interested in finding quality, high quality media for our children and the kids in our lives. Because some of the people on Parent Preview are aunts and uncles or so they take care of their nieces and nephews and care about what media they're exposed to, but they're not parents themselves. And I think that's perfectly great. A lot of people have children in their lives that they genuinely care about, and having a high quality resource is incredible. So that's what it is and what it does. It has got a huge community focus. They've got the water cooler where you can like talk about things and actually have conversations and more than just the reviews. And I really love it. It covers trending stuff, new movies, new media. But the creator, Blaine Andrews, has put together this really high quality product. He's got a fabulous team, and they are constantly taking feedback from the people who are on this. You can set up an account and that's great. Or you can just get on as a guest and just look at the reviews yourself. However, you want to use it. And there's an app as well. Oh my goodness. That was so exciting when I found out. It's not just a website, it's an app. So Criticless is fabulous. They've talked about expanding into books and video games and stuff, and they have not done that yet. But there is a book group where we just talk about books anyway. So if you're a book nerd like me, there's a place for book nerds too, until they get the actual review spots for those open. But he's a huge film buff and he got fed up with platforms like Rotten Tomato and other ones that just did not have really great quality reviews. And so he wanted to create something that was better, that basically people weren't being paid to give reviews. It didn't have these professional reviewers. It was real takes on these forms of media. And so he started coding this and putting this all together. And his wife has been a huge support for him on this. And it's got kind of like an 80s vibe and aesthetics, and you can change your backgrounds. In some ways, it very feels MySpacey to me, but that's fine. And I really just enjoy it, and I'm really grateful for him doing that. And again, parent preview, I'm really excited to be heading up that group for parents to be able to share those sorts of resources with each other and just getting to review these different things. So, yeah, get on, check it out. It is a fabulous resource. I am super excited for Criticless. I want them to just do so well. And I'm on there. Drunk 3PO is on there. Uh, Jonas Campbell is on there. There's a lot of really big YouTubers who are on there, and they will link their YouTube reviews onto their actual reviews as so you can see what they wrote and then also watch their YouTube review too. So it's a great way to get those things all together and find all of their reviews in one place, both written and video format. So I just can't say enough great things about it, and I hope you all go and check it out. And join me on Parent Preview because I'd love to get your guys' inputs on movies and TV shows for kids as well. And also military movies. Let's start a conversation about that. Heck, I'm not even sure there's a group for military. Ooh, we might have to make ourselves a group for that, people. Anyway, so that is Criticless, and that is how much I am excited about that one. The last thing I wanted to cover today and just let you guys know what's going on is my 100 book challenge. Because I told you about how I was talking about that in Criticless. And I was, I have found ever since I told people I am doing this challenge, I have gotten so many really great recommendations for books to cover for the podcast or just classic, wonderful books that I can't believe I haven't read already and I want to read, but to the point where I've read 23 books already this year and my brain was about to explode because I had been reading almost all new books and I was getting a little burned out because of the information overload with all of these different new books. And it got me feeling a little exhausted. And I was wondering if I was going to be able to keep up the pace and actually do this. And I just started thinking and like, you know what? Maybe I need a breather. Maybe I need to switch, switch my focus for a little while and change it up. And that got me thinking something someone said got me thinking about some of these old books. Like, well, they're not old books, but they're old to me. Like books, some of my tried and true favorites, ones I hadn't read recently. And I started going through my books and I found Agatha Christie's Tommy and Tuppence series. And I love these books. Oh my gosh, I cannot even tell you how much I love these books. Starts out with Secret Adversary, where they're friends and it's post World War One, and they get into these hijinks situation and they end up solving this big, national mystery thing and falling in love and they get married at the end. And then it's all these subsequent ones where they have all these adventures together and it goes all the way through World War II and past. And I really enjoyed rereading those books. Agatha Christie is a fabulous author and she's just really good at what she does. They're enjoyable, they're lighthearted, they're interesting, and they'll keep you guessing. So I really would recommend the Tommy and Tuppence series. The other is Terry Pratchett's Night's Watch. This is from the Discworld, and they're funny, and they've got a little bit of I say British humor, but it's like I don't know how to explain it. He is British. Terry Pratchett is a British author, just like Agatha Christie was. Maybe I just have a thing for British authors. I don't know. But Terry Pratchett, he does a lot of like satire. And I really love his satire and just his commentary. His characters are very well made. It's definitely not books that I would do for a read aloud with kids. The Tommy and Tuppence ones, probably you could get away with it, but Terry Pratchett's books, I would wait until they're teenagers before you introduce them to these ones. My husband actually introduced me to Terry Pratchett. I'd never heard of him until we got married, and his whole family has read like every book. There are some parts of the Discworld books of his I love. There are some I'm not a huge fan of. But again, Night's Watch is just one that really resonates with me, and I love those books. So that has been how I've been breaking it up. I'm going to be diving back into some new books soon, specifically a few for the podcast. But that's where I'm at. And you know what? That's okay to have to take a break and go back and read a book you just love. You don't have to be reading something new all the time. And it's okay to read the same book every year. There are books you all know I read every year. And so it's all right. Go for your tried and true, go for your favorites. And that's just where I'm at. I'm really trying to just figure out a pace. I've got so many projects going on. I've got these exciting different things. I'm really getting into Criticless. I love how that's going to be a great resource for people. Working on those panel episodes. We're going to be recording another one at the end of the month. And I'm still looking for people who are interested in being interviewed. So if you know anyone who is a military spouse or a veteran who would like to talk about their experience in the military community and any skills or resources they have that can assist members of the military community, please let me know. I want this to be a place where we can share and uplift and encourage each other and just make this a space that is uplifting. And you know how I say what I say every time and how I wrap these up. But it's true. We can be a force for good. We can make changes in this world, and we can be a team. And that's what I want this to be. And I'm so grateful for all of you who like, subscribe, comment, contact me. I've had so many people reach out and just want to contribute to this project I have of sharing and spreading the word. I am so grateful for every veteran who's come on the show and shared their experience and shared their resources. So please keep it coming. I love it. It makes me happy. I love hearing from all of you guys. Like always, like, subscribe, share, leave a review, write a comment. It helps the algorithm. It helps get all of these fabulous resources out to many more members of the military community so that as many people's lives can be blessed as possible. And it couldn't happen without you. You guys are what makes this possible. Otherwise, if I'm just talking to myself, it's not as effective. I do this because I love you guys and I love everybody who's blessed and supported my family through the crazy journey called military life, and I want to pay it forward. So help me do that and keep sharing your stories with me. I love hearing them and I love spreading it to everyone else who can be uplifted by your fabulous experience and your resources and input. So thank you all for listening. As always, let's be the good that we want to see in the world. And I am your host, Sam Wolf, and you've been listening to Life of a Military Wife.